Last summer I took my yearly trip to the Bournehack hacker camp in Denmark, but instead of going by road I decided to take the train for much more comfort. It's too long for a single day's travel, so I broke the journey up, taking the overnight ferry to Hoek van Holland, then staying over with some Dutch hackerspace friends before heading north. You thus join me bleary-eyed on a Rotterdam metro train to Schiedam Centrum, passing the Maesland-Kering flood control dam. If you've seen my earlier video about travelling from Oxford to the Netherlands on the ferry, then you may remember I left you at Schiedam Centrum. It's the first station west of Rotterdam and it serves as the interchange for the metro to the NS mainline services. Annoyingly, most of the trains to the east of the Netherlands leave from Rotterdam Centraal, so I have to catch a Sprinter local train for one stop.
Goedemorgen beste reizigers, welkom op de Intercity richting Groningen. We zijn zojuist vertrokken vanuit Rotterdam Centraal en dit hebben wij gedaan om 5:09. En we zullen nog volgende stoppen op Rotterdam Alexander, Gouda, Utrecht Centraal, Amersfoort Centraal, Zwolle, Assen en onze eigen bestemming Groningen. Wij wensen u allen een hele prettige reis.
Under the airy train shed of Rotterdam Centraal I caught my next train. It's a DDZ, or double-decker Zonnering unit, bound for Groningen, which I'll ride as far as Amersfoort Centraal. These units are a bit unusual. They share heritage with a previous generation of double-decker loco haul coaches, so unlike most units they have a driving car with all the electricals in it. These in turn share a heritage with one of the locomotives, so they only have a single upper passenger deck, and because of the extra weight of those passengers, they have an extra bogie in the centre. The route from Rotterdam to Amersfoort takes you through Gouda and Utrecht, and on the final approach to Amersfoort you pass the yard holding quite a few heritage Dutch trains and locomotives. I've passed through here visiting both the Hackerspace in Amersfoort and the Hacker Hotel Conference more than once in my years writing for Hackaday, so I know this station is quite a good location for the rail enthusiast. Here I left the double-decker to continue its way up to Groningen and boarded my next train, one of the iconic Koploper units for Enschede. I really like these older trains and I'm saddened to hear they may all be withdrawn over the coming years. From Amersfoort, the train heads out over the Veluwe. In case you thought the Netherlands was all flat, this is the range of hills up the centre of the country. And thence it goes into the woods and grassy fields of the eastern half of the country. Enschede is the end of the line just short of the German border, and once the train has pulled in I'll be meeting up with my hackerspace friends to hang out, drink Grolsch and rest up for a few days for the next leg of the journey through Germany to Denmark. The handy thing about stopping over with your friends in Enschede is that being on the German border it's also the terminus for a German branch line to Münster. But before we jump on that DB Regio train, it's worth a quick recap of our route. In the first part of the video I crossed the Netherlands, and now I'm heading north through Germany to Denmark. I'll change at Münster for an ICE high-speed train that will take me to Hamburg, where I'll catch a regional express to Flensburg. From there a Danish train will take me onwards towards my destination. The first thing you realise as a Brit in Denmark is that Danish pronunciations are not what you expect, so I'd better apologise in advance to Danes as I do my best. I'm going to Gelsted on the island of Funa, and thus I will need to change from the express to a local train at Fredericia. At Gelsted it's then a relatively easy walk to the Bournehack site in the neighbouring forest. Now, back to that DB Regio train from Enschede to Münster. It's a Bombardier diesel unit, a relaxing early morning journey through the Münsterland countryside. The train gradually fills up with commuters as you approach the city. I had a while standing on the platform at Münster watching other trains go by before my ICE 4 to Hamburg rolled in, and then I was on my way past the train back to Enschede on the other platform. It's fair to say that Deutsche Bahn are having their fair share of problems these days, and a seasoned Interrailer in Germany knows to plan carefully for late or non-existent trains. But when it goes right, the experience of train travel across the country can be very smooth indeed. I pulled out my laptop and did a bunch of hackaday work in my high-speed mobile office as a panorama of graffitied sound barriers, flat farmland and trackside infrastructure slipped by alongside me. Sadly, I didn't have time to seek out a McDonald's for an authentically Hamburg hamburger, as the regional express train for Flensburg was ready to go. This time it was a double-decker, a Stadler KISS, which Wikipedia tells me stands for Komfortabler Innovativer Spurstarker S-Bahn-Zug. I can say this, it lived up to its name in terms of comfort. After clearing Hamburg with a burst of extended train spotting as we passed through its extensive rail yards, it was time to head north towards one of the most impressive structures of the day. The Rendsburger Hochbrücke takes the line 42 metres above the Kiel Ship Canal and includes a high embankment on the southern side and a 360-degree loop on the northern. Better still, on its underside it has a suspended transporter bridge for pedestrian and road traffic. I didn't have time to stop on this journey, but it's definitely a structure I want to return to in more detail someday. Flensburg station isn't the bustling hub you might expect from an interchange city. Instead, it has the feeling akin to some British regional stations whose glory days have long passed. The Danish train was sitting at platform 1, and it only remained to wait around for much longer than I would have preferred before they let us board. It's a Danish Class MF, probably one of the nicer trains of this whole journey. These trains, with their very distinctive flexible rubber ends for joining with other units, are like the Dutch Koplopers or the British HSTs, from an era when nationalised railways commissioned their own designs, and like the British and Dutch trains, they're now long in the tooth. The journey north into Denmark brought welcome sunshine, and pulling into Fredericia, I had a bit of time on my hands before catching my last train of the day. Time to pick up some snacks, admire the rather nice station hall, and do a bit of idle train spotting. The station is like Amersfoort, a place where there's always plenty to watch passing through.
Velkommen i toget til Odense. Vi fortæller om rejsen undervejs. Vi ønsker dig en god tur.
My final train was a local stopper, another MF class unit. Crossing the spectacular bridge over the water to Funa, there followed a succession of small town stations basking in the afternoon sun, before reaching Gelsted. It was the first time I'd travelled to a faraway hacker camp by train instead of in a car, and I think it's an experience I may repeat. Thanks for watching everybody, and I really appreciate it when you comment. If you want to support me in further videos of my railway wanderings, then please visit my Ko-fi page linked below the video. Thanks very much. Enjoy this video? Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, but also support the non-profit I'm part of, Trans Rescue. We get transgender people like me out of dangerous and dodgy places worldwide. Thank you very much.